I've talked about this Fakemon a few times in the past. I love them. Well done, ShoyerCloud. This is an amazing Pokemon concept, and it upsets me. How do we not have a Possum Pokemon yet? Instead, we got this abomination, and we have a family-based Pokemon, but it's just a forgettable family of mice that... It's just nothing. It's just not a good or interesting Pokemon. And then, yeah, Grafai is an abomination. If you want an interesting animal to base a Pokemon off of, there's no better candidate than the Possum. It plays dead. Boom, we got gimmick, we got lore, we got typing. How did we not get a Possum Pokemon to be normal Ghost before Hisuian's Zoroark? Instead, we just get fan service and bad designs inside of modern Pokemon. Also, if we want a family-based Pokemon, they're young, ride them. That's really cool. They also look adorable, they're meme-worthy. There's so much to go off of here. There's also a lot of Fakemon that show it's a really cool concept, so I want to see if I can use AI to make an awesome Possum Pokemon. If you end up enjoying the video, don't forget to leave a like, share it with your friends, and comment your thoughts down below. Also, real quick, gonna plug G Fuel. Amazing energy drink right here. You got the energy formula tubs, got collector boxes, energy cans. If you want a dragon booty shaker cup, you can even get that. It's how I fuel all my content and projects and all the crazy things I do, or if I just want to game off camera and stuff like that. So use code Verlisify, 20% off your G Fuel order. Now let's get cooking with Midjourney. So I've been putting in work to get commission quality art of my persona out of AI generation, and it's been working. That I was able to get something I consider high enough quality to be channel branding now. I did put a little bit of time into Photoshop. After like 20-30 minutes in Photoshop, work out some details, get rid of some of the scuff, because AI isn't 100% there, but this beats most artists anyway, so it's only going to get better from here. After a little bit of work, I got like a $50+ commission quality thing just good to go, and now I can use it in my videos. So I've just been kind of seeing like what awesome ideas and concepts come out, and Midjourney is getting there. A lot of updates over the last couple of months, and it just keeps on getting better. Still a little bit of jank, still a little bit of scuff, still doesn't always land where you want it to, so you got to keep cycling through the generations, or you need a little bit of Photoshop skills to touch it up. But I'm not that good at Photoshop. I know the very basics. I just kind of like blur and smooth things out and like draw in a simple line here and there, try to get it where I want. But yeah, I think we can, like, I can use some of the development I've been working on to see if we can actually make Pokemon. So a couple of ways of going about this. We can just do /imagine, and then we can just go for a possum in the style of Pokemon. Now, there's a couple of ways of going about this. You can make a complex prompt. You can use a seed image of a possum. There's also different styles that, for the one that's going in the background right now, I use Niji, which gives you more anime style. But you don't have to do that. You can get like a realistic-ish or more artsy kind of Pokemon. You can put in more things, but I want to get a baseline. So we already have some like cool designs and generations coming up, and then I can just try something like that. We can also remix it a bit if we like what we see. So we got this right here. Now the funny thing is we got more of a possum character than a Pokemon, but we got this cool little dude over here. So I mean, we can go for variations of this. We can also go like Kin Sugimori style. That's kind of like, so we can do possum Pokemon Kin Sugimori style. That seems to be a way that people like getting Pokemon generations. I also have not really put in a crazy amount into prompt work. I'm better than like people that are just starting out, but I don't do all the super crazy things that people do. We can also go like ghost type, so we can do possum ghost type Pokemon and see like if it kicks that guy out, makes him more interesting, or we just keep generating possum. I think we have to do type though, because like ghost type kind of gets weird, because like it's going to try to make a ghost more than a possum. So ghost type possum Pokemon. Maybe you can also like double down on what you want, you know, Pokemon art style, and it's going to really emphasize what you want out of that Pokemon generation. Maybe it'll try to make like a ghost type possum Pokemon instead of like something else that's weird. Ooh, all right. They kind of like did like a Stitchy kind of mouth design here. Maybe too much rainbow on the start of this guy, but it's kind of close. So we can just try another generation, or we can continue to go for a remix of this one. Instead of getting Pokemon, we're just getting cool art of interesting possum designs. I like where this is going. So it could also just like randomly spit out something that influences your design. Like what if we do a witch looking possum Pokemon off of that? Once again, we're just making cool looking art instead of something that passes for a Pokemon. That's still pretty nifty. I like it. Also, well done to Midjourney to just kind of get the idea, the concept of it, and make it. Now, I want to see if I can get detailed enough to kind of get closer to what I'm thinking about for this design. Sometimes you can just like put in too much, it just throws away a lot of it, so you're just wasting a lot of prompt things that aren't changing it. Sometimes you can actually like dial it in that way. So ghost type possum Pokemon franchise, because we're just getting possum art. I don't even know what color I want it to be. I'm just kind of like hoping that it like pops it out, but it seems like a lot of the possums from AI are going to be white first. Like what if we do purple cloak like fur, because that kind of gives that witch imagery from the other one I was thinking about. Magical? Yeah, let's do magical. We'll see how that goes. And while I'm waiting for that to generate, I'm just going to redo the first one we did, because that top right guy was kind of close, just a little too bright and colorful, unless you want like some different possum design. So we can do like fall theming, and maybe that'll give us something interesting or cool. Maybe we could do like Halloween possum Pokemon, but then we're just getting like pumpkins and stuff, and that might be too there. But I mean, if we get something like this guy, but like closer to the more zombie-ish, but I don't want to do zombie, I don't want to do too ghostly. We'll see what happens. So, ooh, wait a second. What is this guy? Nah, it's still like mystical. Still a little too mystical. Oh, I like that though. I kind of like this big floofy boy. Okay, that just spat out children's book characters, but they still look really cool. Fun fact about me that pretty much no one knows unless I rambled it off in a stream years ago. If I was to have a second persona or like an alt persona, it would be a possum. I think anthropossums can look really cool, and this kind of captures that. But I also think it's weird when someone has like multiple personas, because it kind of defeats the purpose of representing yourself through this kind of style. I like this guy though. Like, can we keep working off of that? And we can maybe do some strong variations, even though it's going to keep it close to this. We have magical, purple cloak-like fur. What if we do like possum Pokemon, ghost type? Or maybe we do need to push it a little bit. Like, what if we do like slightly unsettling? This might like tip it to where we want like an interesting kind of Pokemon for a ghost type design, because we kind of, oh man, I have so many like tabs and stuff open. So we kind of are touching on it here. Like, that's a zombified thing. The X's through the eyes suggests it's dead, even though it's like playing dead or something. Got a bite taken out of its ear. So this dude got messed up. Got that like ecto zombie green color. This one, the back of its head is just kind of like rotted off as well. So yeah, like kind of pushing it a bit. I don't like Impossible as much. Like, I just like Opossum. And the initial idea is, okay, why not just take this and have it AI generate? I wanted to see if I could make my own before ripping some other ones off. But also you could like make your own simple concept or generate a simple concept and then use that as the seed art. So I'm just kind of going through like a lot of different processes to see what gives us a more interesting Pokemon design. Oh man, I'm conflicted on the bottom left one because he looks pretty cool. But in my head, I had something that was like a bit more feral. I didn't just want to make like Braixen, Delphox, Possum Pokemon. And that's kind of what that feels like. I didn't want to feel like too developed, like it actually has clothing or too much anthropomorphization, but it's kind of there, huh? Let's upscale it. Let's give variations and upscale it just to kind of see what's going. Purple, cloak-like fur, yeah. What if we do like feral? But now we're like taking from that base and we're kind of going a bit too far. Slightly unsettling, dark mood maybe. Dark mood. And then we're going to see like how much extra that pushes right here. Could also do variants without Niji, and that could give us like some wacky stuff. And then I can prompt 3 at a time with the plan I have for Midjourney. And then we can just upscale this and see actually what it looks like. So it should spit out the upscale almost immediately. I hit the wrong one I was meant to do. Oh no, I did 1 instead of 3. Rip. Yo, but it cooks though. Upscaling the first one accidentally got me closer to what I wanted. Anything from the bottom, I actually like the black hollow feel on the eyes. That kind of captures that ghost type feel and maybe opens up a play dead angle on the Pokemon. Yeah, okay, so comment down below, bottom left or bottom right. Also the top right one kind of has, I like the cloak. So again, like going, oh, which design, but then also maybe not. Actually, all those are really, really cool looking. But I think this one kind of gets where we want it. And then the realistic style, yeah, it's not going to be giving us a Pokemon. It gives us a really cool dude, though. You make this as a video game character. Just like some dude that's going to like guide you through the forest. Or a shopkeeper deep in the woods. How sick would that be? And then we got this, and that's almost there, right? I just feel like, again, it's more children's book character or video game character, and doesn't have like that Pokemon feel. So I wonder if we can actually get degenerate enough with this to where we go, copy link. So instead of making a simple base image to work off of and then get a more developed character, we kind of got a developed character and we just want to tweak it a bit. Now, I don't know how to do that. There's probably like other remixing and different ways of making that optimally happen from your AI generation, so I'm still like a bit above novice at this point, but then we can go Kinsugamori, Possum, Pokemon, maybe just that, also keep it Niji, and then I was like Ghost type at some point, but it kind of has that enough, maybe like a bit more, I don't know, like, yeah, we'll just see if that like tweaks them enough. Well, that's going, let's make a Pokemon card, so we can also go for like spooky, old growth, forest trail. Now for making forest art, just kind of putting like Bob Ross style makes it look really good. So we have like forest trail, deep woods, autumn. I was thinking like nighttime, more like evening-y, but I don't want it to be like sunset, just like washed out too much. So I do want like a bit more darker tones, a little bit of blue, nighttime, bluish. It's not even, that's just going to be a complete throwaway, but maybe it makes something cool. As for what ended up generating, not really Pokemon, still kind of an idea on the character. We also got Sanic in the bottom left, so like we have to do something with him. I don't want to Photoshop and like crop him out, even though it seems like an easy design, too much, and then like have to work with it from there. So I'm trying to think, and then just kind of maybe make like a more simplified concept. Maybe really try to make it a Pokemon style, Ghost type Pokemon. This is going to do some weird stuff to it. We did get this a little too detailed. I was working on like Pokemon backgrounds, but yeah, I think I can take this and get it a little closer to what I want. I like top left though. So I'm adding simple detail, dreamscape, deep woods. We did get that bluish, like it took in the bluish. I also want a little bit of like swampy. You know, you're really getting back in there than Bob Ross. So that could just make us what we want. Ooh, our boys coming together. Interesting. So did the concepts and like gave him, did hit that, did that. There he is. That's like a pre-evolution almost. Actually, we could maybe get both. We got pre-evolution boy right here, and then it kind of develops a bit more. I don't know. Do we beat? Like, do we beat this? Wow, it's coming together. Sometimes, like, it just really finishes and goes, whoa, after kind of looking a bit interesting. Oh, yeah, we got some Cubone feel down here, which kind of gets it. See, I'm wondering if, like, this changes the original, like, the OG a little too much, or if this is actually what we want out of, like, a Possum Pokemon. It doesn't feel super Possum-y, though. That's, like, close. And also, this guy's kind of the same, too. Okay, so I'm just going to come up with something, and you guys are going to see where it ends up going. Alright, so I got it down to two. I like this guy, and I like this guy. And I think it's because of the top right concept in both of them. Like, we actually get to the point, also, that means I now need to start, like, bringing out highlights and stuff. Like, when we get to this dude over here, it kind of feels like a cool little Pokemon concept over there. And then this, also the same, like, there, that's that Pokemon feel I think was missing from some of the other ones, and eventually it just kind of like genned through into it. So like this guy, that feels the same. I don't want to go like, oh, pre-evolution to evolution, but maybe something like this. And what I really like, I like things from both, because this even has like a little baby possum over here, and that could go into the lore and design for this Pokemon, where like, oh, it actually has like wispy baby possums floating and flying around it. I'm not trying to get super dark with it, like, when this Pokemon's young dies prematurely, their spirits still follow them, or anything like that, but it's kind of like that vibe, but in a more fun kind of way for the Pokemon's lore somehow. Like, it manifests spirit energy to adopt as its young. Boom. And that kind of gets that. But then this could kind of do the same. I just don't know how we make that together, and also which one. I still don't know which one I want more. Oh no, I wasn't recording that part. So I made a new one that had no background because the OG, yeah, this dude with that background, nah, my Photoshop skills aren't good enough to just kind of isolate all of that, all those details. So I kind of made one similar, and then I just kind of cropped it out and made it work, and now we're going to work on the background. So do that, get some Pokemon card style feel, maybe. Oh, also, yeah, I gotta make sure it still looks decent in here. I think we can also just kind of blur this down until like it just kind of doesn't feel like, you know, too crisp, too overly detailed for a Pokemon card. So we can do something in between. Also, put the other ones on the sides, and that's like kind of concept-y, you know. We're building what this dude is supposed to look like. Boom. Also, I came up with a name while all of this was going on. OPOSSUM. Doesn't sound great now that I'm saying it out loud. I don't know, it just sounds a little too much like postule when you're saying it, or, you know, like pussy kind of thing. Also, apostles. I don't think this dude conjures followers of Christ vibes. But, yeah, he's actually kind of just kicking it right there, and that looks pretty neat. And we need to make, like, the little soul dudes that he picks up and come up with, like, lore and all that. Because of, like, the legs a little jank from AI, and also, like, it kind of genned like this, I don't know what to do about that too much to make it, like, fit in the art. Also, I want to give an honorable mention to this guy that kind of popped out through all of it. Little too over-designed for Pokemon, but still an awesome video game character. Kind of hits harder on the concept and base design I was looking for, but I didn't want to like tool it too much harder and then like get lost on something. I think like this guy just vibing. I was wondering if I could just take this and just kind of like blur and warp it into the spirit kind of design I was thinking about. Yo, that actually kind of bangs, and I don't have to do too much extra work for it. Also, like, we zoom it out a little bit. I want to do an experimental idea of sharpening the thing I just blurred. So we can go, like, smart sharpen. Could, like, kick it up and make it silly, just kind of so it doesn't feel like it's too blurred in. Maybe not. Okay, so I've been working at this for over an hour, and I kind of just want to wrap it up at this point because I'm not an artist. I don't do these kinds of things. I'm just kind of experimenting with AI and having fun to make interesting Pokemon content and create things that I've wanted to see inside of Pokemon or whatever. So yeah, Pokedex entry. OPOSSUM searches for lost spirits to adopt into its family. Its footprints leave behind a faint glow. I think that just kind of catches it. The only thing is I feel like there's too much detail in this, because like if it just finds a spirit, it shouldn't look too much like it, and then also they wouldn't look exactly the same, but whatever. Man, there's a lot to take away from this. My first thought is I am absolutely the best Poketuber if I can just do this in an afternoon for fun and make something that looks really cool and awesome on top of having like the best competitive knowledge and being one of the best Pokemon battlers ever. And we could just do all kinds of other variety things with it. That's pretty neat. And then when it comes to AI, you can just develop the skill of making whatever you need with the help of Midjourney or AI art generation and stuff, and learn basic Photoshop skills to kind of bring it all together, since AI art isn't completely there yet. And with that little bit of extra work, you can just kind of create some really awesome stuff. So I'm going to round this out. Just turn this into the thumbnail. Why not? So there's a lot of opportunities for people to do cool things. And if I wasn't canceled in the Pokemon community, this is a 200,000 view tweet of a really awesome Pokemon concept. And at least I'm honest about it, where I'm like, yeah, I made this with AI. People will get upset at that, but I could just not tell anyone and say I went to art school, or I've been like practicing making Pokemon, and then again editing out anything that would make it look AI. Because you take, you know, the janky feet out or something, and then you just kind of do that. So, I also am bad at labeling things. Like, you just do that, and I just post that, and I say, yo, check out this possum Pokemon I made. and no one could tell. That is indistinguishable. There is zero artifact of AI at that point, and could just get away with it. But now I'm too honest, and that's why the Pokemon community hates me, I guess, because I'm the only one telling the truth and trying to be a good person, which is sad. But yeah, there we go, guys. Hope you all enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching. Oh yeah, I also touched up this dude a little more. I tried to like edit it to look a little different, but no, just like copy pasting, mirroring it, and putting it into a different position. Like he's fine right there. He just looks, he's all right. So yeah, we got that, and we are good to go.